Hey guys, Metal Jesus here, and today's video is going to be very cool because all the way from France, I have Omar, who is the developer, and also Surreal, who is the publisher of an upcoming Master System remake. Tell us what you brought.
So that's a Master System, but actually today we brought you a preview build of an upcoming game, which is a remake of Wonder Boy 3: The Dragon's Trap. That was kind of like a sort of cult classic in the Master System, and we're making a version for modern console. And we brought you a build to play together.
Yeah, this is going to be really cool. So, all right, I'm excited. Let's take a look. So, you got some games to show me here.
Yeah. So as we said, that's the preview build of the game. It's not finished yet, but it's pretty much resembling what the final product would be.
Okay.
What we did is that we took this classic, the original version, the Master System version, and we're trying to do something that's very faithful to the original in terms of feelings and control and physics.
Okay.
So we actually went and reverse engineered the original game code from the Master System version to study it and to understand how those games were made and to make something that felt this way.
So you are like a hardcore fan of this game.
I love this game. It's my kind of childhood, favorite game.
So you were like, I'm not going to screw this up.
Exactly. I've been fantasizing about making this 20 years ago.
Oh, really?
And a few years ago, the time was right, and Dotemu was on board to make this project happen, and it was just,
You're the money man.
The money man. No, we're kind of advisor as well.
Oh, okay.
For some stuff, especially licensing. We've been around in Japan for quite some time, so yeah. Yeah, we help them with that as well.
There's the licensing, and we released the game because we released it on PS4, on Nintendo Switch, on Xbox. There's lots of work in talking to those platforms and doing the marketing, the sales. There's a lot of things that the publishers are helping us. We couldn't do alone.
By the way, I think before we continue, one of the things that blew me away, that I think is going to blow away some of my viewers here, is that you helped make a couple games, right? That I love.
Yeah.
So you have a history of making games. Please tell people what those are.
Okay. Well, some of the game we talked about, I worked on a game called Soul Bubbles.
Soul Bubbles on the DS. We did the hidden gems. I totally fanboyed out when you told me that.
I saw it on the video. Yeah. It's a DS game from 2008.
Yes.
Which was kind of physics based, where you used to draw soul bubbles.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And another Vita game, which I love.
Called Tearaway.
Tearaway!
So I used to work on Tearaway at Media Molecule in the UK.
Oh, God, so awesome. All right.
Cool.
So you've got a history of making awesome games.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah. Another game I made I'm really happy with is a Pixel Junk Shooter.
Pixel Junk Shooter. Okay,
on the PS3, yeah.
Which I have not played, and I am shamed for that. I apologize.
You can still do it.
I know.
We can have a Let's Play someday.
Yeah, we should.
Cool. Okay, so this is Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap, and then we're gonna play through it.
Okay.
So this is the third game in the series.
Right.
And we're kind of skipping the beginning here because there's a few bits we haven't shown yet. But basically, when you start the game, you start as a human character.
Yes.
And you slay this kind of mecha dragon.
It throws you right into a boss battle. I was not prepared for that.
It throws you into the boss battle.
That's the end of the previous game.
Yeah,
right. It's the final battle.
To Monsterland, where you kill a boss. And as you slay it, there's a blue flame that gets out and curses you and turns you into this character, Lizard Man. So you actually start the game very early on. You get transformed into this animal character, and you spend most of the game getting changed to different animals.
Right.
So you don't actually play that much as human Wonder Boy, but much more as those animal things.
Which is cool. I mean, that they mixed it up.
Yeah,
for the third game.
They're really cool.
Yeah.
So that's kind of this is like 5 minutes into the game.
Right.
When you arrive into the village, this is sort of where the game starts.
So I played, as I mentioned to you earlier, I played the original. Oh, dude. Okay, so you have the pig with the eye patch still.
Yes.
That was a must.
That's a very important character.
Yeah.
So this is in the original game. This is where you used to get the passwords, right?
Right.
And in this version, you can still get a password.
Oh, wow, old school.
And you can use this password to resume your game on the Master System.
Seriously? Like the old one?
Basically.
Yeah.
And
so it's like
you're not messing around here.
Cross save between like PS4,
cross save,
yeah, Switch, and Master System.
And I'm getting back to the menu here, and you can actually start a game, load your save from the 89 version.
Holy crap!
So if you know that there's kind of old style password, on your kind of text.
Dude, this is so. I've never heard of somebody doing this before.
It's a cute feature. It's like obviously not everyone will use it, but
hey, right here, buddy.
Yeah.
I have passwords.
maybe the manual has passwords. So this works in this version.
Oh my. Okay. All right, that's awesome.
So yeah, people who remember their password, their save, they can load the exact same save they had back in the days.
Cross-play between this and the Master System. I mean, oh my God, that should be
It is
that's so funny. So right off the bat, these graphics here are just beautiful. Like it looks like a cartoon.
Thanks. So Ben Ficke has been the kind of artist and animator on the game. He did all the art himself and animation. And he's sort of is a comic book artist, and he does animation. He does a lot of things aside from games.
I shouldn't say notice to you. You notice, but like it has that kind of like old school like TV animation where the character it kind of being drawn in real time almost. Or not real. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But the animation are going to go like frame by frame, so it's kind of like old style, Disney style.
That's why. Okay.
Ben is like a hardcore. Old school animation guy, so he draws every frame, like it's pretty crazy. The result is awesome.
Now, how big is the dev team? I mean, you're the programmer, correct?
So the Lizard Cube, the company is two of us full time.
Okay.
Ben is doing all the art, I'm doing the programming, and then we've got a guy called Michael on the music.
Okay.
We've got Romain Gauthier on the sound effect, and we've got Sebastian, who is also helping us part time on the programming. So it's like 4 or 5 people involved in the development.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. So here we're in the shop, we're buying items. It's kind of RPG-ish in the sense that you buy those things and they kind of raise your stats, basically.
Yeah. Okay. So I saw it was like plus 12 to defense. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm buying everything here, and I'm going to show you the inventory. It's like here, this is what you have. Short description, and the stats depending on the animal you're using. So some are more better for lizardman, some will be better for mouseman. So I'm just going to play a bit and then I'm going to show you something.
I love those little bouncy things. Those are awesome. Oh yeah, that's right. Breathe the fire.
I love how you crouch there.
So every animal that you have in the game, that every transformation has its own skills. So basically, lizardman, for example, he can go into lava and have a range attack. Mouseman can climb walls, Oakman can fly, that kind of stuff.
Playing the original, one thing that's kind of surprised me was normally in these kind of games, if you fell into water, you die.
Yeah.
What I love about this game is when you fall into water, there's a whole level down there. It's so awesome, right?
No sudden death.
It is like an element to Metroidvania where you get to explore everywhere. It's really
absolutely cool. Yeah.
So one of the new feature that we're just announcing right now is, I'm going to show it to you, is that while you play the game, this is the new version we made.
Sure.
Anytime you can press a button and you can switch to the old graphics.
Dude, I was just playing this the other night.
Except this is widescreen, this is 6 tiers.
Yeah.
But this is like, you can play everything and you go to the shop and you can see,
Oh yeah!
All
dude, this is so cool.
Switch, and then you press another button, and you put the old audio. So you've got old music. And
dude, you are effects. A fan. You are.
So you can hear. Yeah. You can mix the match. You can keep the old music, and then your graphics.
Oh, dude! Wow.
Or the opposite.
That reminds me of the LucasArts games when they redid like Monkey Island. Did you guys play that? They did the same thing, and I thought that was so cool. It's it's cool because it shows you just how far the graphics have come. But then so how does gameplay then? Is gameplay changing?
No, when you switch between those modes, the gameplay is the same.
It is the same.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
So I mean, like the slippery kind of the way he walks and all that stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't
feels exactly the same.
Yeah.
Just that the visual feedback is different. So it could feel different, but it's exactly the same.
There's lots more effects.
Oh, even the way that they blink.
Yeah.
Wow, you really did study the code, man.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time.
Oh, and okay, like a little touch when you went past that tree, I noticed that you became a little, into shade.
Oh yeah, there's a little shadows here. This is the original look like.
Yeah.
Pretty much similar.
Dude, that is pretty cool. That's crazy.
So that's nice. Anytime you can press that, you can see the Switch live.
See, this part here was when I first played it. I'm like, oh crap, and I'm like, oh my god, what's all this about down here?
It's a bit overwhelming at the beginning because you don't know what to do, where to go, or anything. But
right.
Yeah.
So eventually, for example, as you get Piranha Man, you can swim and you can access this water area. There's an item you get later that allows you to break those blocks. When I can break them, so I can get there. But
okay.
So it's teasing you with all those things that you can and can't do.
Right. Huh. Yeah, this looks fantastic.
And the soundtrack has been completely remade as well.
Okay.
With real instruments.
Oh, okay.
Only real instruments by Michael, which is like an awesome composer. And some of the tracks have like 7 pieces, 7 people playing at the same time.
Wow.
And he actually made a real soundtrack because back in the days he used to loop, you know.
Yeah.
But now he made like he took the same track, same melody, but now it has a beginning and an end, so it's like a real actual track.
Huh.
And it has been a great work.
So what you're saying is we need a physical collector's edition with a soundtrack CD in there.
Yeah, we're thinking about it.
No one wanted that.
No, but yeah, we really want
First get
to
the game out.
People have been asking. We're sort of looking into it, but we're not sure we can do it yet.
We'd love to do it.
Yeah.
The collector in me is like, oh, okay.
I mean, I want one for me. You know?
Yeah, it's true.
If I have to do 5,000 for others, I'll do it. But
sure.
No, but people have been asking, and we're looking if we can do it.
Yeah.
We're not sure yet, but we'll try.
That's cool.
It would be a nice thing.
Yeah. So that ship in the background is all new.
Well, there was a ship here.
Oh.
Except at the time you couldn't.
I didn't recognize it as a ship.
tell.
Yeah, I thought it was like some sort of pyramid.
You
thing.
only understand the ship if you line up all the game map, and you look, because you can do underground, underwater, and there's a ship underwater that you can explore later. And if you line up the map, if you map the game and line it up, you realize that this is the top hull of the ship.
Interesting. Huh. Wow. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, I'm missing a bit of money to buy equipment here. All right.
Cross-dress like a goblin. No questions asked.
Let me try to kind of farm this 6 gold here. It will be useful for later. I got that. Good. Yep. All right.
What did you just buy?
Oh, the
Goblin armor.
Goblin mail.
Oh, okay.
What is it called? Goblin mail, yes. So that give me like more defense points.
Oh, I see.
So when I take hits, I will get less damage.
Okay.
Which is probably useful in the beginning, because in the beginning you kind of only have two heart container. It's quite easy to die.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, this very much feels like an RPG as well, isn't it? Like
It's very in between. It's like, because it has elements of action and platforming and RPG.
It's almost an action RPG, you know, like a very simple RPG mechanics.
Yeah.
But still,
it's lightweight. It's like Zelda, you know. So Zelda is not an RPG, but you get this equipment.
Fair enough.
Thing.
Yeah.
So it's more like that, you know. I don't know if you call it RPG, but it has this vibe.
and it has a great story, and it's like you want to go, to know what's gonna happen further.
Yeah. It's really cool to see all the animals, and it's not a game where you save a princess. It's a game where you have to save yourself from being cursed. So it's it's a bit atypical for those 8-bit games.
Yeah.
So I'm just getting in here. I'm gonna go back to the village. I just got a key from the chest in the village. Obviously I've played this game before, so I know what to do. But when when you play it for the first time, you're still like, oh,
the first time I played it, I was like, I didn't know what I was doing. But but again, what I love about it is that it didn't really punish me for just wandering off.
No, definitely not. And the game design is very simple and efficient. It's made so that you can lost yourself, but you will always find your way at some point. Just need to insist a little bit, and then you'll find it.
Also, I like how, in this case, I do like how the enemies respawn, because you get more gold. So, so you're rewarded literally for going back.
And the nice thing is that if you're not a good player, you will tend to get more gold by restarting, and then you can buy the better equipment faster. So it's sort of kind of self-balance. Just was nice property that. What we did is that, it's not apparent here, what we did is that where you get the password, this guy gives you hints.
Oh, okay.
So in some key points of the game, if you're not sure where to go, you come here and the guy will give you like a riddle, something that sort of like...
And that's a new feature.
Sort of helps you, So this is one of the things we added to make it more accessible.
Cool.
There are also like new difficulty levels that didn't exist before.
I noticed that. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that is basically just probably like how much damage you take whenever you get hit.
It affects the enemies, how much hit they take, but also they're kind of faster and like few more enemies in hard mode.
Okay.
The hard mode we designed it for people who can have played the original and they can clear the normal mode very easily. The hard mode is really hard and it has this timer that keeps going on, like in Monsterland, and basically you can't stop. If you stop, you lose health.
Oh, really?
So it's like it forces you to play fast, and it's quite hard.
Wow.
It's this,
almost for like speedrunners, kind of.
It is forced you to speed up, and then easy mode, for people who are not.
Or maybe just kind of want to explore a little bit more, as opposed to.
All younger players, more casual player, they can
Right.
they can play this way.
Wow, switching back and forth is cool. And it's instant. I mean, you can do both. It's cool.
And you can mix match, you can play with HD graphics, 8-bit sound.
How did that add a lot to your dev time? Or was that something where you're just like, I want it, so we need to do it?
Well, both. It had a lot, but also the way we did it, because we wanted it to be very accurate. That made it extra hard.
Oh, so is it running the emulator in real time in the background?
It is, but it's not. We're doing something really hybrid and weird.
Okay.
Because the original game is not 60 Hz and it's not widescreen, and it doesn't have all those animation state and stuff. So what we're doing is really novel. We haven't given it a name yet. We've got a bit of emulation, but we've got lots of high-level systems that create a new game.
Kind of keeping track where you are.
And we modify the game. Usually, when you in the normal emulation scene, you don't change the game. And we change a lot of things. We tweak things. We add the content. So it's I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
But it's a mix between reverse engineering and emulation, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's funny because the reason why I bring it up is because you think that would be somewhat kind of easy, but as you describe it, it's like, wow, yeah, the Hertz thing alone would kind of throw things off, wouldn't it? With the animations and all that stuff.
It was stupidly hard, but it's like,
Omar is kind of crazy. So
Yeah.
the thing that I wrote a Sega emulator 20 years ago called Mecha.
Okay.
Which was, so I sort of know, I know how to study those games and understand how the machine works. So it's not like, it's something I was familiar with in the first place, which really helped. Can you? I don't know.
These I hate
clouds.
Oh, the bullies!
They're so annoying.
They're so annoying. I know.
That
that was a nice move.
I like how they have those glasses. They remind me of the character in the PC Kid shooter, the Air Zonk. Have you played Air Zonk?
Yes,
in the PC
yes,
engine?
yeah.
They all have those glasses.
Also, wasn't there like a cool? Oh, what was that game? It was like a 7-Up guy. Didn't he wear glasses?
Cool Spot.
Yeah.
But the Zonk character had this kind of like triangular glasses.
That's right.
This kind of stylish Japanese Yakuza glasses bully thing, throwing fire at you.
Now, speaking of Japan, though, you met the original creator of this, correct?
We did. We went to Kyoto and we met them. Because obviously, to be able to do this game, we had to secure the licensing.
Okay.
Right? And it was complicated because it's a very old game, and the right was spread out between Weston, who did the original game, and Sega, who owned part of the trademark.
I see.
So Dardemir spent lots of time talking to those guys.
Trying to figure things out,
Yeah.
make it happen.
Yeah.
Because at some point we weren't sure if you could do it. Like we had half of the game that was like, oh, maybe that'll be
It was complicated.
I see. So
License.
but you kind of need to do that to show them that you're serious. And show them that
Exactly.
you're gonna
Exactly.
treat the license
Exactly.
with respect.
The creator was on board, like very early on. We could show him the design. The original creator was on board, but the license was kind of like sold to another company.
Sure.
And Sega was involved, and they were harder to get than the creator himself, right?
I mean, most developers they just want their games to be played. I mean, they want to get paid, obviously, but they want them to live on. And so usually, it's been my experience that they're happy to see them live on.
Yeah,
right?
Sure, yeah. But everyone was happy in the end. Like, it's just that everything needed to be clear from a legal point of view. Nothing must be has to be shady or anything. So you have to make things right. But in the end, like when you see Omar's project, Omar Invent project, you're like, come on, guys, like let's do it. Like it's awesome. Like,
Well, your company has put out several Japanese games.
Yeah,
before.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you mentioned earlier R-Type. I think I
Yeah.
bought R-Type on my iPhone and iPad.
Yeah,
Which you guys
exactly.
put out, right?
1 and 2, yeah.
Yeah, which are fantastic. So I'm sure that helps with that.
That's
is you,
absolute, yeah.
you can show them, it's like, look, here is R-Type.
Exactly, yeah, absolutely.
you know-
We worked a lot with SNK, we work a lot with Success, that has the Raiden license.
Oh.
We work a
Did
lot...
you put out the Raiden Legacy?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Dude, that's such a great... oh my god. All right, so
Yeah.
I bought a bunch of your stuff. And then...
Yeah, so we know how to deal with Japanese companies.
Yes.
And it's not very complicated, it's just that you have to understand how it works and like what they would expect from someone that would work on their license.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then it's just about patience and respect, basically.
Yeah, I'm
That's it.
sure. All right, so... oh, okay.
Pyramid here. So the structure of the game is that you find your way towards kind of dragons, and each of them is is kind of the boss character, and as you kill them, you get transformed into a new character.
Okay.
And then eventually you find ways to the kind of the secret transform room that allows you to kind of switch back and forth to explore more of the levels. But initially you kind of like the first 3 ones are kind of like in order. So here I'm in the pyramid and I'm looking for the mummy dragon, obviously. Let's see what I have here.
Yeah, I love the colors too, the mist in there. The
Yeah, that's really nice.
That's cool.
That's how the game looked.
I know, I love it that you can switch back and forth. Wow, that's awesome. Oh, I haven't seen this guy yet. Yeah, he's gonna make this look easy, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah, totally.
Oh, so it looks.
Oh yeah, cool.
They didn't have they were using the system background layer to display the character, the boss character.
Oh.
Because they can't use sprite for it because it's too big.
Oh, interesting.
So that's
the
why
background.
it's all kind of black and around, because they were scrolling the full background to make it move.
Huh. What other stuff did you learn from looking at sort of the original source code? Like any tips or tricks or anything that you kind of were able to...
Secret doors.
Well, originally I started Sprite because I wanted to learn if the game had like unknown secrets.
Okay.
So I started reversioning the ROM and tried to figure out if there was like some of the secrets like. So I found a few secrets. This game has a lot of weird rules that are untold. You know, if you press this button at this time, something happens. Some items give you like slightly different like stats for the drops. There's a lot of subtleties like that that we're kind of learning. There's a few secrets from the game that I've discovered by looking at the ROM that people didn't know on the internet. They were not in facts at the time.
Huh.
So it's a cool thing. So what happened? Oh, I got transformed to Mouseman. This is Mouseman.
Okay.
Mouseman. Mouseman can climb on this, grip on this little wall
that's
thing.
cool. Man, this game is just like really in depth.
Yeah.
So this is why we had this checkerboard thing. It's some of the signal that you can climb on them. And Mouseman has sword and shield. Most characters in the game have sword and shield.
Okay.
The Lizardman doesn't have the shield. And shield.
I see. So is there a button to block?
If you kind of stay still, it's blocking. If you're attacking, you kind of like not blocking.
Yeah.
So if there's like an arrow coming at you, you have to stop attacking to get it right. So
Oh, I see. So that's how you get out of there. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can actually go the other way. But this is a good shortcut here.
Show the retro version of that. Yeah.
Wow. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
By the way, for those of you that don't know, don't you have every Master System game out there?
I have. Well, I collect like Sega 8-bit things. I've got Master System, Game Gear, and SG 1000, which is kind of the earlier Japanese systems.
Okay.
If you add all of them up, I've got something like 3,000 games.
So you are a Sega
Just
fanboy,
yes.
to say the least.
Yes. Yeah, and I've got the games from Brazil, from Korea, from Taiwan, from Japan, from Europe.
That's crazy.
I love them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love them very much.
And are Master System games easier to find in France?
Yes, especially in the US. In France we had like something like 300-400 released, where in the US you had something like 110.
Yeah.
So just that the amount of game available was much hhigher.
Yeah.
And then because Europe is smaller, if you buy something from eBay, from Germany or England, it's quite easy to get them. So you can also get those games that kind of maybe more common in the UK. You can get it from eBay, for example.
So my next question is our Master System games in France, are they in French? Because do you see where I'm going here? I want you to buy me some.
So, so the actual game content.
Or send me some.
Yeah, I have them. The actual games, they were always in English. The actual games.
Good to know.
Usually what they did with the manuals, that the manual were like 8 or 6 language.
Oh,
you know?
sure.
That's basically how many of us learn English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few of the late European game, like Smurfs, for example, you can actually start the language.
Yeah.
But the majority of games they were just English. This is
Good to know.
This is how we learn English. So this is just a section where we play as Lineman, which is one of the later characters. Lineman is kind of the strong one.
Yeah.
It got this kind of
Strong but cute.
strong but cute. Is
Cuddly.
large range attack, and you could break blocks on the floor with it, which allows you to access this area.
You can show the retro version.
Wow. About how long is this game?
It's I would say it's kind of 6 hours long.
Okay.
So it's not too long. If you want to get the secrets and play the hard mode, it'd be longer.
Yeah.
But overall, it's kind of that sort of length.
Okay. I think I watched a speedrun where someone on the original went through in half an hour, but it was insane.
Yeah.
I don't say how far is possible, but yeah,
Like 40 minutes.
Or maybe that's what it was,
Yeah.
or something like that.
But yeah, you can if you know exactly where because it's kind of skill-based game. If you know exactly where to go and how to do it, you can.
Not me.
Yeah. But I mean, if you clear it, a few times, you can probably.
Is it a ninja?
Yeah.
That was a ninja.
Nice.
I mean, like,
Oh, that's cool. Alright, so what are we looking at here?
this is Oakman.
Okay.
You can fly.
You can fly, and as
It's
you
pretty
great
cool.
husband, you can start reaching areas that you can reach. This is a very stylish.
I had no
warp
idea this
cycle.
game had this much variety. I really didn't. This is impressive.
Yeah, and sometimes like old 8-bit games, they're a bit like hard to play again too. It's a good game, but at the time it felt totally natural. But today, because we've been used to play a lot of different games, it feels a bit old. But this game, it doesn't feel old at all.
You're okay, you're flapping your wings. So that's almost like Joust.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I love Joust.
I know, me
Same
too.
mechanic. Yeah. Me too. I love it.
Joust and Battlefied.
A remake of Just would be pretty cool.
Can you get on that?
I'll take a look at it. Secret.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Transformation room.
we can transform.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. So with a button, you're cycling?
When you step on that
Platform.
Oh,
platform, it just changes. But you can only access the character that you've already sort of unlocked with the
Oh.
wagon. So this is like.
And it goes in the same sequence as the level design.
So this is Piranha Man.
You can swim.
And Piranha Man can swim because that's what fishes do.
Right.
Let's demonstrate some of the swimming action. This is me swimming. So for
Now the
example,
other characters could swim, but what is
They
different?
could walk, but they couldn't I couldn't reach here. for
you're
example.
right. You're right.
I couldn't get up here.
I wondered about that when I played. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
Everything makes sense in this game. You're like,
Yeah.
well, except the character we saw earlier that you can't reach. But yeah, pretty much everything. You're like, oh, I see, I understand now.
Yeah.
And then sometimes when you unlock a character, you're like, oh, I remember it was there, so probably I can access it now, and then you try to go back.
It makes it feel very Metroidvania a
Oh,
little
yeah,
bit.
totally.
It is very Metroidvania.
Yeah.
It is Metroidvania, except instead of having a new kind of weapon, you have a new character.
Yeah.
But it unlocks these things.
So have you guys announced about when this is going to come out?
This is out in this spring.
Okay.
So pretty soon. We still figure out the exact release date, but
Sure.
it should be pretty soon,
Yep.
really.
Okay.
And we'll announce it on a blog, on a website when we know it.
On our channels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
But yeah, it's almost ready. It's almost there.
Yeah, it feels like it.
And it's coming PS4, Xbox, Switch,
Okay.
and later on we'll work on a PC version.
Mm-hmm. Vita.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll see.
I mean, I love the video.
Well, I know you do. You made Tearaway.
I think it would be a perfect fit. The small screen, you know, it's the dance, you know, beautiful pixels.
It would be
beautiful. So we can't tell you yet.
Oh, I understand. That's cool. So, all right. Well, this has been an awesome playthrough. I mean, thank you so much for coming all this way and showing me this game.
Thank you for having us.
I was really looking forward to it. So, where can people find you on the internet? Start with you.
So we've got a website. It's called www.thedragonstrap.com.
Okay. And we'll show it on the screen here.
Yeah, and you can also follow us on Twitter, like twitter.mu, DOTEMU, and LizardCube with the company LizardCube, L like a lizard and a cube.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
If you Google the game name, Wonderboy the Dragon's Trap, you'll find the website, you'll find Twitter, you'll find the
everything.
blog.
And we'll put it in the video description below.
Cool,
So.
Yeah.
cool, yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming over and showing me this. This is
thank you.
awesome.
Thank
All
you
right,
for
guys.
having us.
Yeah, love to know what you guys think about this upcoming remake of a classic game. This is going to be pretty cool. All right, guys. Thanks very much for watching.
Thank you.
I actually got to hang out with Omar and Surreal the entire day. This was their first time coming to Seattle, and they are big video game collectors, and so it was really fun to be able to take them. I took them to Pink Gorilla to look at some retro video games. They actually bought a couple there. We also went out and had some food and got to show them the sites. It was really cool. Such awesome guys, and it was great to have them in the game room and have them show off their game. I'm going to be picking it up. All right, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.